Whether you play Cammy already or you want to pick her up because she got a nice new costume, I want to give you some quick tips to optimize her in a few ways that I see a lot of people mess up when I watch some VODs or I watch some tournaments and whatnot. So here's what I actually never seen someone talk about. If you throw loop, this is a very lazy way to make sure you catch people who neutral jump or jump over you. So during your throw, you just input a forward DP and you press heavy a little late, and it looks something like this, because even if they jump over you, right? So in this case, she jumps up. In this case, she jumps up. Okay. It would be nice if she actually jumped over me so I could show the option select here. And this way you actually get the corner back, right? So what you're doing is, because she jumped over you, your input for your heavy DP just turned into a forward kick, because you did your DP a little too late because you noticed it jumped over you. And you actually get a back kick. Sorry, I said forward. You get it back because you're inputting forward for the DP the other way. And this actually lets you keep the corner if you spend 1 bar of meter and an EX drill, which I've never seen people actually use, but it's a pretty cool trick. On the flip side, you can just DP either side if you're good enough. But this is kind of a lazy way. If you're not good at doing cross cuts, it'll kind of cover both with two birds with one stone. Okay, next I'm going to talk about her supers. So a lot of people, they'll try to end the round if they want to spend their 2 bars. Like this, and if you only have 2 meters, people do this a lot. It's not bad, but there's a better combo that actually doesn't require all of your bars, so that's 4.4 thousand. With this combo, there's even better combos here, but I'm just gonna assume you want to be safe and not use all of your meter. And this actually does quite a bit more, almost I don't remember, was it like 200, 300? I don't know, but this actually won't burn you out just in case it does kill. You don't even have to do the EXTP at the end in case you're worried it might not kill. And yeah, try out this combo. In the corner, you can actually get a really fat combo here. You do something like this. For 4.7k with 2 bars, again, this will cross. If you don't kill with this, you're gonna die. So I wouldn't recommend doing it unless you're 100% sure it'll kill. If you want something a little safer, you can just do this. A little bit less damage, but in case you're scared it might not kill, you won't burn yourself out if you had full meter, and you'll keep the corner. So use these 2 combos. They're a bit better than just doing these kind of things, and I still see people use it a lot. If it's gonna kill no matter what, and this combo is easier for you, then do it. But I just thought I would mention that because I don't see a lot of people use for level 2 combos. You can also get a very big combo with your level 2 if you catch someone trying to jump out of the corner. I'm sure there's a lot of optimal ones. You know, something like this, 4.4k. I'm sure there's a better one that uses all your bar, but I don't see her level 2 used much besides a cash out when you don't have your level 3, but it actually has very strong damage. I might not even burn you out depending on how you use it. Even just, you know, anytime you get a back heavy kick, doing something like this can be quite a bit of damage. Whatever. So here's just a few ways that you can use her level 2. I think it's not one of the best level 2s in the game for sure, but it has some very strong punishes, even if you don't want to spend all your drive gauge. And you can do over 4,000 damage, which is quite a bit for a level 2 that's not burning you out. The same for her level 3. Let's say you block a DP. A lot of people tend to do her bread and butter, which looks like this. It's a good combo. It'll do, you know, 5,500. But there's a better one that also doesn't burn you out if you have all your meter. Does more damage and looks cooler too, so I recommend learning it. And you can even make this do a little bit more damage if you waste your last bar with 1 more drive rush into, I think, forward heavy kick. But yeah, I would recommend learning this combo. It does 1,000 more, it doesn't burn you out, and looks sick. Why not? Okay, let's talk about her corner pressure. If you ever end a string in a medium spiral arrow, so you pretty much did any lights, you do a crouch light kick, this will burn enough frames to make your crouch heavy punch super meaty, right? So it'll look like this. As you can see, I'm +4 on block, which lets me, you know, walk out for a little tick throw. It'll let me shimmy, it'll let me do a lot. +4 is a lot. Not a lot of characters have access to +4 like Oki on block. Plus this just does a lot of drive damage if they do block it, and you're +4, so it's a really good situation for you. Now, if you end in a heavy drill, which will be pretty much anything that's not a light ender, it's the same thing, but you do a stand light kick, crouch heavy punch +4. If it hits, you can do pretty much anything you want. Yeah, so if it hits and you confirm it, you can go straight into a standing heavy punch. Okay, so speaking of extra plus, let's say you get a punish counter with your sweep because, you know, you whiff punish something. You can also get that super meaty crouch heavy punch by doing a dash into a heavy punch, a crouch heavy punch. So that would look something like this. You get your sweep, you run forward with a jab, crouch heavy punch, and you're +4. Now, for all of these cases where I've shown this kind of super meaty crouch heavy punch, which it's a good thing to do. It does a lot of drive, makes you super plus. You don't always actually have to do the crouch heavy punch. In all of these scenarios, you have enough time to, after you do the button that's kind of killing the frames from you, can just walk back if you think they're going to throw or DP. Speaking of which, when we're talking about combos, one thing I see a lot of people do if they're not going to spend any bar, they're not going to spend any supers, but they shimmied someone. I see a lot of people do a combo like this. Charger spiral arrow, you get 3.035, which is pretty good. Some people I still see some people do this, which is much worse, so try to break the habit of doing this. I mean, it's not a huge deal, but the best combo that, I mean, if you guys have a better one, let me know. The one that I feel like always works the most for me is you just do 2 of these. A back knuckle into a cannon spike does the most damage. This is a buff she got a little bit. This is a buff she got a while ago. And then you still get Oki right in their face. Yeah, small optimization there, but it's worth learning. It's a fun combo to do ever since they added the juggle on the spin knuckle. Also, sorry, I didn't like talk about every single input, but I put the input history on. If you need help with a combo, just go back to that part, slow it down, and you can see all the combos on the left of what I do. Hopefully my inputs aren't too disgusting. Okay, and another thing that a lot of Cammys don't do, and I'm not saying you have to do this, but it should be something you at least consider, is that if you ever anti-air with a DP, you actually have a free meaty here, right? Where anything she does on wake up here will lose to my heavy punch, and I can, if she does a wake up DP, so it'll look something like this. Let's say I anti-air with the DP. If she does anything here, I'll hit her. But if she does a wake up DP or something, I can dash forward and get a nice fatty combo. Right? So I'm not saying you have to do this. I just don't see a lot of people try to take their turn after their DP. Again, you don't have to, but it's a good option, especially against characters that don't have particularly good reversals, or you really want to get that heavy punch. You really want to make them block that heavy punch because they're close to burnout. Now, alternatively, for her throw, she actually cannot do this. So if I dash, I can never block that DP no matter what I do. Right, I'm holding block. If you know they're going to DP one, and like you know that they know whatever, you could do a DI, which will armor through it. But if it's someone who doesn't have a DP, one thing you can actually do, and they know this interaction, so they're going to do their super instead. So let's say the other person knows the interaction, you drive a shot at them. If you didn't input anything during the super freeze, you could just input your own. And you'll win because you're second, unless there's probably some random abomination champion who has, you know, a million invincible frames on their level 3. But for the most part, I think you'll win almost all these scenarios. Again, you don't have to do stuff like this. After you throw someone, you can just walk forward and, you know, make them block a heavy or just walk forward, whatever. But there are options to consider, especially, that being said, when I was talking about for characters that don't have a wake up DP, you actually can meaty them after a throw mid-screen, even just by doing something like this. If they don't have a wake up DP and they don't have 1 bar of super, you know, I do this a lot against characters like Manon and Geef. You can really keep your turn if you get a mid-screen throw, which is quite nice. And that's pretty much everything. Here's one extra tip in case you want some insane corner carry. Let's say someone has you cornered and you bait them to shimmy, right? So you do something like this, you walk back and they shimmy. Whenever someone misses a shimmy, they're actually standing, obviously, because they're going to grab you. So when a character is standing, Cammy actually has a combo off her drive rush, where you can do drive rush into back heavy kick, and the corner carry she gets on this scenario is insane. Let me just quickly show you. So the amount of corner carry you can get with this is pretty insane. Let's say I was cornered, I finally made some space, I bait this Cammy to delay tech here. You do back heavy kick into heavy arrow into super, and now you have them cornered and you're plus. You can walk up, you're only plus 10. If you're a bit closer to them, if you're a little bit closer to the corner, you literally just go corner to corner for 1 bar and you would get Oki right in their face, right? This is an insanely high corner carry combo. It only works on standing because if you have to do your crouch heavy punch first, the combo won't work the same. Works really good for shimmies. It works really good if you're with punishing standing moves and you know that they're doing that. Right, so maybe you're fighting Sagat and he's pressing like a stand medium kick. You could do this and get insane corner carry. And yeah, there's a lot more tips. Cammy has a lot of like pretty small nuanced things that you can just add a little bit more damage here, get a better knockdown here. I could probably go on about it for hours, but these are the ones that I think are the most important. Really fun character, whether you want to dive kick around or you just want to buy a nice swimsuit. I might buy it myself, but you know, money's tight these days. So I kind of like this, the long jacket one. All right, anyway, stay beautiful, my friends. I hope you learned something. See you in the next one. If you liked the video, I appreciate a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know any Street Fighter 6 related content you'd like to see in the future.